Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Birmingham Rum Festival's Rum Stories. I'm very excited today because we have the guys from Island Slice who are talking to us from Scotland. Hi Sylvester and hi Abou, how are both of you?
Hello, how you doing?
Very well. Last year's Rum Festival seems a very long time ago now, doesn't it?
Ages ago. Yeah, it should be happening now. Sad.
What we wouldn't give to spend a day drinking rum in the sun.
Yes, we would, especially now the sun is out. I feel like I'm in St. Lucia. We need a little bit of festive to go with it, a little bit of festival, Birmingham Rum Festival to go with it also.
I know. So tell us, how did Island Slice come about and how did a guy from St. Lucia end up in Scotland?
Well, I'm ex-military. I was part of the British military. I was based in Germany for quite a while. I met my wife while I was in Germany. She's Scottish, and I decided, okay, I'll come up to Scotland. With me came what I love the most, rum. So I bought the rum to Scotland. My story is longer than that. Born in St. Lucia, grew up in New York, military, and Scotland.
So military guy, you must be very disciplined. So how are you finding lockdown?
Oh, I get through it. I still go through the same struggles everybody go through. I am a bit more strict, but it makes no sense being disciplined and being too strict. And then your wife is struggling, your family is struggling under the strict rules. So I just try to be there for them and make sure everybody's good. The kids out here, everybody's good. We survived, and we got loads of, I got loads of rum.
So how did you start the rum? Was it just a hobby and then you decided to sell it? How did it all come about?
Rum has been in my personal family heritage for quite a while. As you know, I'm from the Caribbean. Rum has a dark side, which is slavery, which I am from. I'm literally a descendant of the slave. Not to go into that dark place because it all gave us rum. So it's been with me. We created rum. Without slavery, we wouldn't have rum. So in my family, in the Caribbean, each household have their own recipe, own rum recipe or rum drink. So I always was a rum punch. My dad owned what we call a cowboy, which is a rum shop. It's literally where the locals go out to, like a pub, go out and have a drink. Also what he did, he distilled his own rum. I grew up with him in the latter part of my years before I left St. Lucia. He showed me everything he knew. Sadly, he passed away in 2015. In 2015, when he passed away, I felt like I have not thanked him enough. Lose anyone. You feel like, oh my God, you kind of take a little bit of it on the shoulders. And so I maybe did it a bit too much, but I had to do something homage for him to say this is what he's done. So I decided I need to launch a rum product. So the best way to launch it was to launch my home recipe, which was the rum punch, which we call the rum fusion. It was literally a household recipe, the human household recipe for a rum punch. I launched that in Scotland. Didn't expect anything out of it. I expected just my friends and family and a few people to enjoy it. And it just went crazy. Everybody loved it. Everybody wanted some. They couldn't have enough. It was selling out. We had fun with it. It's literally a cocktail that I shared with everyone over here.
You promoted around festivals around Scotland. So what's the drinks? Is it and the bar scene around? Whereabouts in Scotland are you actually? I didn't even ask.
Do I have to disclose the location?
You don't have to. You see,
no,
from there.
I'm messing about. I'm being military.
Okay. Yeah, all right then.
We are actually based in Dumbarton. However, our registered address is in Glasgow. So Dumbarton is 20 minutes outside of Glasgow.
Okay. And the Glaswegians, they like their whiskey, I presume, is the drink of choice up there.
Maybe I can add something to that. Contrary to what you think, whiskey is more sort of the older people sort of drink. So maybe people like that are in their 40s or the older type. I think the younger are more sort of like directed towards like, I suppose you could say that maybe the gin craze, but yeah, they're open to new spirits. So, you know, rum cocktails definitely would go down really well. But I think, like, generally, I think all of us we're quite shocked at how much, yeah, how much grip the gin has there, because obviously there's so many distilleries all around that are producing gin. But I think they're really open to new things to drink, really.
So, Abou, you're the rum ambassador, aren't you? How did you two meet?
It was about 2 years in Troon for the West Coast Fest, which is a really a great idea. It's right, I can't remember what, but my geography is not that great, but it's called Troon. So it's a seaside town, and they have a hall, and these two ladies decided, well, yeah, why not celebrate all the things about the hospitality industry? So they got different brands to come together. And coincidentally, I was working for Jägermeister at that time. I was just doing a little pop-up that they had in the West Coast Fest. And Sylvester was about a couple of stands down from me. And yeah, he walked past me. I walked by to his stand and sampled his rum. And he came over to sample. And I remember him saying, man, I can't believe you're getting all these people to drink Jägermeister. And yeah, so obviously he must have seen something in me, and yeah, we exchanged contacts, and next thing you know, he told me about the things he was doing. And I think he invited me over to his house, and I tried the combination of his, the Herman rum punch. And I was like, absolutely blown away, because I tasted a lot of punches. You know, I worked in rum bars, and I tasted a lot of rum drinks. And that was the first one that made me think, why is that not in the supermarket? Why is that not, you know, you understand what I mean? It's just like, it was just like, whoa, this needs to be sold. This needs to be shared.
It was a well-kept secret. That was too much of a secret, wasn't it? And your
exactly.
job.
Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much how we started. So about 2 years, nearly about 2 years ago, and yeah, it just totally made sense. I love rum. I like everything that it stands for, the story behind it, and absolutely made sense.
So do you want to tell us about the 3 expressions that Island Slice are currently selling?
Of course. Sly, do you want to take this one, or do you want me to do this?
Yours is too long.
You do the talking.
Okay, so first up.
I've got spice with the spice rum.
Mm-hmm. So do you want to tell us about the spice rum, Abou? Okay,
so Island Slice spice. Typically in St. Lucia, they don't use a lot of vanilla. So this is not your run-of-the-mill sort of rum that's going to be totally inundated with caramel or sugar. What we use is variant spices. We use maybe about over 15 different spices in there, and some of the unique ones that we have are stuff like clove branch, black pepper, St. Lucia nutmeg, which is absolutely amazing. Just to name a few of the spices that we have in there. So it does have what in the Caribbean, maybe it does have a little bit of funk to it, but it's so wonderful to mix because it just gives you that, I don't know, it's just a feeling. It's a real authentic Caribbean taste that you get when you.
What is the taste of funk, isn't it? How would you describe the taste of funk?
Yeah. No. It's got a you know, that pot still, that traditional pot still underlying funk, which is either you get it or you don't, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, if you know about rum, you know about the funk, yeah. And yeah. So I suppose in some ways.
Like in the music.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
It's the feeling that rum gives you, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's also about the feeling that rum gives you.
Totally. So heavily spiced, not too sweet on the palate, citrusy hints, but this again is quite a young rum. Yeah, really, really, really delicious. Great in a mixer with Coke, with ginger ale, with a daiquiri. Anything you put it in, to be honest, it's gonna be awesome.
Cool. And what's next up? Sylvester, we have?
Coconut rum.
So, coconut rum. Quite simply, you get our aguardiente, if you want to call it that, or our plain rum. And then we steep some coconut into it, and we let it macerate and add a little bit of sugar to it. Now, this is quite a low ABV coconut rum, but for me, when you understand coconuts or when you live in the tropics, it's almost like it's like biting into a jelly, what they call jelly coconut. So this is kind of like a young coconut, and when you taste it, it's just a feeling. Again, I find it hard to put them into words, these sort of like feelings, but it's almost like drinking liquid coconut, you know, a liquid young coconut. I don't know if that makes sense at all, yeah, low ABV, absolutely really versatile, can work in all manner of cocktails, impart a really authentic coconut flavor to whatever you add. So you can use it like, yeah, just like any coconut rum or liqueur. It is low ABV, it's about 17 ABV. So really approachable, you know. We're getting to the age where we need to look after ourselves and all that stuff. So 17 is where we are happy with that. And in all of the festivals and events that we've done, this by far has been the biggest seller, which tells you so much about, you know, the public and what they want to drink, because without a doubt, star.
Awesome.
We've got the dark rum.
Dark rum.
Cool. In a few words, smooth. Again, you get those spice notes to it, but it's nice and easy, especially for such a young rum, which is aged for about 6 months. You can either enjoy this neat, or you can have it as a mixer, and it will work with everything. Really delicious, nice, smooth, vanilla, it's slight vanilla hints to that from the barrels that we use. Yeah, smooth. I don't know if you want to add something like that. For some reason, I've got some block.
Out of the three rums, which is the one that you go to, that you like to drink? Which is your favorite?
I go for the dark.
Yeah.
And sometimes what I do is I'll have a splash of the coconut, and then I'll just top it up because it's low ABV, and I like my things to burn. So I'll have a splash of the coconut, and then I'll top it up with some of the dark, or I can use the spice either way, but I generally go for the dark and a little bit of a coconut with some ice, or just dark neat.
What about you, Sylvester? Which one is your drink of choice?
With the dark, I like having a rum old fashioned with the dark. Like Abou said, the flavors are there, the caramel is there, and so on and so forth. Another thing I should add about the dark rum is, though I may not have much to do with the company at the moment, because Abou is running, got the reins at the moment, but what I do is innovation, new ideas. If I have new, I'm quite experimental person, so what I've developed is a vat age, a way to vat age the rum, so it will have the flavors that we need, the same flavors that we need as a 3-year-old rum, basically. It's a simple, very simple, very straightforward. I'm not willing to share it at the moment, but just so that we could get those flavors in 6 months, we could get the 3-year flavors in 6 months.
Okay.
By vat aging it. Adding a few things, like, for instance, natural things that Scotland does not have: heat, and UV lights, or light, basically. So I like innovating. And I think that's what Island Slice is. We're an innovative company. We keep innovating, keep changing, keep changing, but keep improving. That's what the dark rum is. A very special rum. It's not your bog standard. I like it.
No. But it must be really hard to have a hobby, be passionate about rum, but to create a brand and take it to market in any territory must be really hard. What have been some of the challenges you faced?
Go ahead, Sly. Yeah. So, for instance, when we started with the rum fusion, it was the very first thing was getting rum companies who produce pure rum to actually sell you rum. That was one of the main things. To trust enough to sell you rum. That was one of the challenges. Getting HMRC approval, it's not they will tell you no, or first of all, it's the bureaucracy is quite a bit.
Everyone's saying that, getting HMRC, they're happy when you're paying the money, but to get the whole thing started is quite a painful experience, I'm told.
Yeah, very bureaucratic experience. It requires a lot of patience. Another thing, a good thing about Scotland also is if you have an idea and the people like the idea, there is no stopping the helping. Like, for instance, Abou was talking about the West Coast Fest, which is the guy in Troon. There's no, everybody there is willing to, this is where you go, this is how you do it. Let me promote your let me help you. You know, there was quite a bit of help. So we could talk about the challenges, but also there is the people out there. Yes, for support. The hurdles we face is been a lot in terms of financing, getting it out to the consumers on time, getting it consistent. But it's ongoing. It's still an ongoing battle, believe it or not.
Yeah, yeah. So you came to the RUM Festival last year, didn't we? We had great fun. Do you want to tell us your thoughts on that? And we had too much fun, didn't we?
Yeah, and the only thing was that the only problem we had was that we should have organized our accommodation a little bit more, because we could have a great night in in Birmingham that time. So that's a lesson. That's one lesson we learned, is that it's actually, it was such a great atmosphere that, you know, we were so sad that we had to leave on that night. So, you know, we just felt like after all of the hard work, we had to party with you guys. But what a great idea. What a great idea. And you know, if you look at the demographic of sort of like Birmingham, you know, it's like, it's got a lot of Caribbean and sort of like history, and not that Caribbean rum is limited to the Caribbean at all, but it's such a great idea to have something like that within the community, because there's so many people who are affiliated and just influenced by rum in Birmingham. So it was absolutely fantastic. I learned so many about so many new brands that were popping up that I'd never heard of before. Likewise, expose people to our brand, if you know what I'm saying. So all in all, an absolutely fantastic idea, and the execution was great. The Cuban embassy is a wonderful place. The bartender is really friendly, and everything about it was really good. I got to catch up with some old people, old friends that I hadn't seen from London for a long time, and like I say, we are so gutted that we cannot. It's not going to happen this year, but you know, we've made many friends, and long may it continue.
I know. Well, hopefully, we might be able to move it to August for this year, so we might get a bit of rum in. But yeah,
that's what we're talking about. You do it, girl. You do it. So
hopefully we'll be able to confirm a new date in the next few weeks. But yeah, I've got my fingers crossed. It'll be great to see you guys. Have you thought of a cocktail that you're going to be bringing, or especially for the festival?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes the biggest problem is it's like which one? It's like picking picking a favorite child, if you know what I'm saying. So what I had in mind for this year's would be like a twist on a Singapore sling, but just made with rum. And instead of maybe using your cherry sort of hints, I'm going to make a homemade spiced pineapple juice, which entails like baking the pineapple and then steeping all of the spices that you find in our spiced rum. And then adding, instead of, like I said, using the cherry flavors in a sling, I'll take that out and make a homemade rhubarb syrup, which is an absolutely fantastic drink. So, yeah.
Sounds great.
Sorry. Will we name it the Birmingham Sling then?
Okay, yeah. That's Birmingham Sling. That's what we're going to call it, Abou.
The Mosley Sling. That's the one.
Yeah.
The Mosley Sling. That's the one. Yeah, okay. That's something we can work about. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, that sounds
wicked. Sling.
Wicked. I think that's half the fun, isn't it? Like experimenting with different flavors and tastes and different ages of rum and just coming up with concoctions. It's not a bad job, is it?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, I never would have thought I'd get paid to do this kind of stuff. Oh my God, yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
Cool. Well, I hope we get to see you this year, but definitely in the future our paths will cross again, drinking rum, no doubt. But before we go, can you just tell us how much each of those bottles cost and where people can buy them from?
So first up, Island Slice Dark, smooth, complex, with some smoky caramel hints to it. At the bargain price of $33.95 from the rumshop.co.uk.
Bargain. The next one is it the coconut one?
Next one we have is the coconut.
There you go.
Premium coconut rum, smooth, refreshing, tastes like you're biting into a coconut. That retails from about £27. Again, the rumshop.co.uk. And lastly, our spiced rum, heavy spices, really versatile in cocktails. 25 £25 mark, again, rumshop.co.uk.
Brilliant. And they're all your three brands. And if anyone wants any more information, they can just go to your Facebook and Instagram, can't they?
That's right. Yes. Thank you very much.
And on that note, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Anita. Cheers, everyone. Cheers.
I'll finish mine. I need a top up, but yeah.
Nice to see you, Anita.
You too. Have a rumtastic weekend. Bye.
You too.